Hello beautiful souls, and welcome to day 145. I had to look, just realizing I haven't titled this video yet, and it's interesting coming on to do live videos when my eye is still a little bit out of sorts. It's definitely getting better, but it's still a little bit out of sorts. Today has been a day. I've been in stillness within myself. I've shed tears with one of the most amazing women that I have in my life. She created a space for me where my wisdom got to be expressed, acknowledged, spoken. I spent time with one of my really great friends that I haven't seen in nearly 2 years. I got to contemplate deeply about my own business and to really acknowledge a piece of me that has been sitting and waiting for things to move, sitting and waiting to believe, to know that it's okay, that it's gonna be okay to be really happy, to be really successful. And as I've been really in the contemplation phase of responsibility, this last maybe 10 days or so, whatever it might be, I also got to spend time with another woman online today about that, where we have put together the most amazing, potent masterclass that's going to be running next week, all about self-responsibility and the distortions that we have around that, be it being the woman who takes responsibility and the weight of the world on her shoulders, leaning into perfectionism, or the other side of it, the side that I leaned into in a distorted way, that I would remove myself from responsibility, waiting for others, the universe, the world, to present to me what I needed so that then I could step up. And that in its own way created a waiting frequency in me. But through the work of Redefined, really bringing everything that I've been talking about since I've been going live every day for 145 days into my own being, really taking my work of soul identity into my being, taking the work of I am the woman who into my being, has given me a new vision of who I am and how it is that I see myself. Because the more we do this kind of work, the more we do this soul level identity work, it brings to the surface the pieces of us that were never true, the pieces of us that were conditioned into us, the pieces of us that we chose to filter ourselves with for perceived safety, for perceived acceptance, for perceived whatever it might be. But what I have found, the more and more I take on this work that I offer out, the more I've taken it on for myself, the more I am choosing to become the woman, not even become, to choose to be the woman who trusts herself, and to define what that means for me, and to source my own identity from the level of my soul, means that the reflection of my life, the projection of what I see, is shifting. And at times it's overwhelming, because what I'm feeling is that life is beginning to get really, really good. And that requires real courage to move in faith with that. It requires allowing yourself to move in a way that the society that most of us were brought up in maybe didn't tell us that life could be really good. And as I was doing some journaling before I came on to do this live, something landed in for me, that when I chose the frequency of evolution for myself this year, at the end of December and moving into January, I didn't know what that really was going to mean for me. But there has been evolution over evolution over the last almost 4 months. But what I realized before coming on live is I had made a commitment to myself that I am bringing my life to life, that I am bringing myself to life. And what I'm noticing is now that is happening. That is shifting and moving. Because I'm choosing to be the woman who trusts herself. I'm choosing to define myself from my soul. And I'm also choosing to look at the aspects of self that we don't always want to look at, and to release myself from the holds of that conditioning, and to feel the feeling and the knowing that you are bringing your life to life, that you're bringing yourself to life after spending a long time in a waiting state, a state of having outsourced your own power. It's a really beautiful place to find yourself. And I'm feeling deep gratitude for myself, for who I was, for who I'm going to be, for the people in my life, for the opportunities I've had, and for things that are yet to come. And me coming on doing these lives and not really following a quote-unquote process, not following a strategy, but following what it is that I want to talk about, what I want to speak about, that matters. It has influence in more ways that I can currently realize. What it means is that I am following my own way. I am following my path. And now, as things are moving and things are shifting, I am able to allow in the true support and structure from others who are further along the path than me, to really guide me in doing this my way, yet with obvious actions and steps and structures to hold that and to support that. And so, all of a sudden, I have a few things to offer out. What feels like all of a sudden. Redefined, my 6-week, soul deep, bespoke, wonderful choosing of who it is that you are. 6 weeks to really come home to yourself, to know who you are, to choose who you are, and to have had a space created for you where you are in this container of growth and expansion and discovery and evolution. And if you would like details about that or to apply for that, you can comment below. I'm also going to put the details below for I Am the Woman Go Live experience. We start next Tuesday on the 22nd. It will be my day 150 of going live. And that's for you to come in your own authority, in your own leadership, in your own power, and claim the woman that you are. Whatever that is for you, whatever that next level, if you want to say it that way, is. And to come into that private Facebook space where you go live as her every day. You speak as that woman every day. You show up, you commit, you take responsibility as that woman every day. And you do that for 10 days. That is €77. The space will be open for 14 days. You go live for 10. And then we also have the wonderful free masterclass that's happening next week as well, also on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Irish time, also on Wednesday, also on Thursday at the same time for an hour each day. And I'm doing that with Eglay. I'll post the details for that. This is our offering to you of what it means to be in the frequency of true responsibility and how we get to reshape, redefine, reclaim what responsibility means for us, and then to offload ourselves of the responsibility that was never ours in the first place, and how to do that. So I'll put the details for that below as well. I'm finally realizing, knowing that life gets to be amazing. There are frequencies of that, timelines of that available to us, if that is the wording you want to use. It requires us to choose back. It requires us to choose ourselves. We are that powerful. But do we realize it? I will see you tomorrow.